Last week we started a new chapter, Water, a Precious Resource, in which we discuss about the introduction, why water is necessary for our life and what are the percentage of water is on earth, and we also read about the different forms of water. So today we are going to discuss about the groundwater as an important source of water. Okay, so if you see, if we dig a hole in the ground near a water body, we may find that the soil is moist. Okay, you can easily find any place, where there is a water body nearby, and if you find the soil of it, nearby, if you go, it is probably moist in many times. The moisture in the soil indicates the presence of water underground. If we dig deeper and deeper, we would reach a level where all the spaces between particles of soil and gaps between rocks are filled with water. Okay, as you see, figure 16.7. Okay, this is the figure 16.7. So here you can see that, okay, where all the space between particles of soil and gaps between rocks are filled with water. So you can see here, this is the groundwater here, okay, and this is the rock, and one more, you can say that the water table is here. So the upper level of this layer is called the water table. Okay, so this water which is found between the rock and soil particles is a water table. The water table varies from place to place, and it may even change at a given place. The water table may be at a depth of less than a meter or maybe several meters below the ground. The water found below the water table is called groundwater. Okay, so you can see, or you can tell, what is groundwater. The water found below the water table. Okay, what is the source of this groundwater? The rainwater and water from other sources such as rivers and ponds seeps through the soil and fills the empty spaces and cracks deep below the ground. The process of seeping of water into the ground is called infiltration. The groundwater thus gets recharged by this process. At places, the groundnut is stored between layers of hard rock below the water table. So you can, when I'm speaking, you can just see your image also, okay, which is given, so you can better understand it. This known as aquifer. Okay, if you see here in figure, this is the aquifer. Okay, and the aquifer is a place, okay, you can say it is a place where groundwater is stored between the layers of hard rock below the water table. Water in aquifer can be usually pumped out with the help of tube wells or hand pumps. Have you ever been to a site where construction work is going on? Okay, from where do the workers get water for construction? Maybe you have seen pouring being done at such site. To reach the water table, inquire from the people working where, okay, working there, how deep they have to dig. Can we keep on drawing water from under the ground? How will it affect the water table? Okay, so now we read about, I think, last topic also we covered in the last week. So depletion of water table. Water drawn from under the ground gets restored by seepage of rainwater. The water table does not get affected as long as we draw much water as it replenished by natural process. Okay, if water is naturally replenished again, so it is not get affected. Okay, water table. However, water table may go down if the water is not sufficiently replenished. This may happen due to many reasons. Increase in population, industrial and agricultural activities are some common factors affecting water table. Scanty rainfall is another factor that may deplete the water table. Yet another factor affecting water table could be deforestation. Okay, deforestation you already know that cutting off trees and decrease in the effective area for seepage of water. Okay, if seepage of water is not done, so water table you can know that the water groundnut water is not something, it's just the seeping water present in the inside the soil. Okay, so if there is no space as we make homes and industrial area, okay, so not much water is goes into the ground, so it will be affect the water table also. So increasing population, okay, last week we already discussed about it that increasing population creates demand for construction of houses, shops, offices, okay, and roads and payments. Okay, this decrease the open areas like parks and playground. This is done decrease the seepage of rainwater into the ground. Okay, which I am saying to you also. And then increasing industries, water is used by all the industries, almost everything that we use needs, okay, water somewhere in its production process. The number of industries is increasing continuously. Water used by most of the industries is drawn from the ground, so we already read about it. Okay, so you have to do one activity for this also. Next is agriculture processes. A majority of farmers in India depend upon rains for irrigation their crops. Irrigation systems such as canals are there only in a few places. Even these systems may suffer from lack of water due to erratic rainfall. Okay, it means not continuously a rainfall occur here. Okay, when needed, it's not rainfall. Therefore, so farmers have to use groundwater for irrigation. As we know, population pressure on agriculture forces increasing use of groundwater. Day by day, this results in depletion of water table. Okay. Now we read about the distribution of water. The distribution of water over the globe is quite uneven due to a number of factors. Okay. Some places have good amount of rain and are water rich. Okay, as you already know. On the other hand, there are deserts which have scanty rainfall. India is a vast country and rainfall is not the same everywhere. Some regions have excessive rainfall while some have very little rainfall. Excessive rains cause floods, whereas the absence of rain results in droughts. Okay, therefore, some regions in our country may have floods while other may suffer from drought at the same time also. Given here in the rainfall map of India, okay, it gives the average annual rainfall in different regions of our country. So you can locate on the map the place you live in. Are you blessed with sufficient rainfall? Okay, is there sufficient water available in your area throughout the year? It may be possible that we are living in an area where there is sufficient rainfall, yet there is shortage of water. Can we attribute this mismanagement of water resource? Now we discuss about the water management. You have read in class 6 that in many places a regular supply of water is provided by a well-planned pipe system. When the civic authorities supply water through pipes, not all of it may reach the destination. You might have seen water supply pipes leaking and lot of water gushing out of the pipes. It is the responsibility of the civic authorities to prevent such wastage of precious water. As you already know that this supply is also done in your home also. Mismanagement or wastage may take place at the level of individuals also. All of us knowingly or unknowingly waste water while brushing teeth, shaving, bathing, washing, and during many other activities. Leaking taps is another source of huge water wastage. We waste water as though we do not need water the next time. We have seen that most of the water that we get as rainfall just flows away. This is a waste of precious natural resource. The rainwater can be used to recharge the groundwater. This is referred to as water harvesting, okay, or rainwater harvesting. About this, you already read in your class 6 also. Find out if the buildings in your neighborhood have water harvesting system installed. We have at many places in India, okay, and is old practice of water storage and water recharge like Bowrage. Okay, Bowri was the traditional way of collecting water, mainly in deserts. You can say uh, in the area where scarcity of water is found. Okay, these are first make with the time of these disuse. Okay, and garbage started filling in these reservoirs. Nowadays people just aware about it and rethink that we should again, okay, again, um, revive these boundaries. So now these you can see easily in many areas, okay, or in villages where the scarcity of water is found. A farmer using water in the field can also use water economically. May you have heard of drip irrigation. So now we see what is the effect of water scarcity on plants. You must have seen potted plants wilting and ultimately drying up if they did not get water even for a few days. You have already learned in chapter first that plants need water to get nutrients from the soil to prepare their food. Just imagine the consequence if water is not available to plants. The green character of the planet shall be lost. This may mean that the end of all life, for a world without plants shall mean no food, no oxygen, not enough rain, and innumerable other problems. So you can easily imagine that, because main thing is the oxygen is needed, okay, for each of organism or each of living organism to live in the earth. So if no oxygen, we also not respire well, and ultimately, okay, a successive initiative. If you see, Rajasthan is a hot and dry place. The challenge of natural scarcity of water was met by a successful experiment. A band of social workers has transformed a dry area in the Alwar district into a green place. They have revived five dried up rivers: Arveri, okay, Ruparel, Sarsa, Bhagani, and Jhajwali, okay, by constructing water harvesting structures. So in Rajasthan, you can know it is a very desert area of India. Okay, so water scarcity is found. Any drinking water is not available here. Okay, so you can say that Hamara Jal, Hamara Jeevan. So what are the keywords you understand by this chapter? Aquifer, okay, which you have to know that there mean what is aquifer, it is groundwater, water harvesting, depletion, infiltration, water table, drip irrigation, recharge. Okay, Mr. Akash, can you tell me what is aquifer?